So here's the deal. A week and a half ago, we decided to evacuate our home. There was massive, crazy unrest in Durban.
Basically, you could see hordes of people crossing over a highway into the area now where the warehouses are.
In a Durban neighbourhood, residents are taking matters into their own hands. Amid widespread violence in South Africa, some have armed themselves with baseball bats and guns.
Short story long, our former president was jailed for corruption. I think he stole something like 500 billion rand. That's about 40 plus minus billion dollars. I think my maths is right. And anyway, he got jailed, and people and his followers didn't like this. So there was a mass riot across two provinces, Gauteng, Johannesburg, etc., and KZN, Durban, specifically Durban, where warehouses got burnt, shopping centres got burnt. I'm going to throw a couple of stats up here. Like 400 and something PEP stores. Like the PEP stores, if you're not from South Africa, they do clothing, they do, I don't know, some do food, some do appliances, like white box products, and they were completely destroyed. 400 and something of them affected. Some were burned down to the ground. Major warehouses that stock food for retailers. So we talking thousands and thousands of looters. The police were battling. Security guards, security companies, they all joined forces with the public. Vigilante groups started popping up. Little militias within town started popping up. Anyone who had a gun that was a civilian was getting called out to assist. These looters and rioters were attacking power plants or substations. They were dropping power in areas so that it would be more difficult for armed forces to actually stop them from coming in the evenings. And I mean, they were looting from 48 hours straight, non-stop, and thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And some of them were armed. It was just ridiculous. And they set fire to most places that they looted afterwards. Warehouses, storage facilities, cold storage facilities. It was insane. And why we left is because we are a stone throw away from North Coast Road. We're a little bit higher up, but we're pretty damn close, like 800 meters line of sight. The problem is they started hitting it hard, and we saw on the news that there were thousands of them marching on Nandi Drive, and they were coming our way. We didn't know they were going to stop at Massmart, the warehouse that supplies macro game and all that stuff. We thought they were coming into residential, so we just packed up everything, or as much as we could. I'm back home. Thankfully back home. It's been a long week and a half. Ran out of time yesterday trying to film that little video for you guys, so carrying on from today. We packed up what we could, and we took animals, we took our cats, we took our dogs, we took everything else. We went and stayed with my parents because it was a little bit more fortified, and also, you know, like a whole strength in numbers thing. We felt a little bit safer going there. It was incredibly frightening with all this stuff happening just a couple hundred meters away from our home. Things getting burned. And you know, we said that we wouldn't leave, that we wouldn't go to my parents, we wouldn't go anywhere else, because we were thinking, maybe let's go to Cape Town, you know, get away from it, get out of the province. Not that there are any planes leaving anyway, but we just said, no, you know what, we'll just stay put, we'll be fine. We've got cameras, alarms, security, you know, all that sort of stuff. Look at the dogs. And then my daughter said, why is there smoke outside? And we were like, get out of here, let's get out of here. And then we saw the news, thousands and thousands of people heading our way. Anyway, it's affected so much, and I just firstly, before I carry on with the story, I just want to really say, by the way, I'm not crying, my nose is blocked. It's very, very cold here. It's like 7 degrees right now. See, say thank you to everybody who sent me a comment, wishing me well on Instagram, YouTube. I haven't replied to everybody. For example, the Mick, I know you sent me a comment on YouTube. I read it. I haven't replied. It's been mad. We've been living out a little one-bedroom off my parents' place where I used to live, not in their main house, and it's just been hectic with the kids, and we're waking each other up, and it's been madness. And plus trying to work from home there has been a nightmare, and that's why we're back now. That's why we're back home. It's safe now. So thank you to everybody who's taken the time and people who actually care, and just don't know what else to say. Thank you. The real scary part is that a lot of these chains were burned down, a lot of their warehouses and storage facilities were burned down, so there's been a shortage of food, coupled with panic buying. People panic buy. We saw queues and queues, as you can see right now. I used to shop at that particular shopping center. We used to live around the corner from there at the Checkers before we moved to this house. Like literally I could walk there in a minute and a half, and to see the queues and thousands of people panic buying. And then when we tried to go, we didn't want to go during the panic buying stuff because we're still scared of COVID. We're very scared of COVID. We don't leave the house, and we were forced to leave the house. We had to go and buy supplies because we were running out of baby formula. We were running out of baby nappies, and we only had like 2 weeks worth of food. At this stage, our shops are still not fully stocked. Upper North, if you're not from KZN, whatever, it's a little bit further north, Hillcrest, Upper Highway, they're fully stocked. Durban North is still not so great. So if you go to like a spa, you might find that a couple of items are still missing. Dog food is still a bit scarce. The vets are getting it, but price is a little bit higher than normal. And anyway, we still need to get some dog food, some cat litter. But a week ago, we were unsure. I was actually making plans. I was rationing the dogs. We were rationing. I was minusing one meal. So my wife and I, we were eating one less meal than what we were supposed to a day because we wanted to ensure that our kids had food and our kids would have at least a month's supply of food. My parents were absolute stars. They were just, they managed to stockpile just prior. I think they were going to the Berg or something, so they just bought a whole lot of food. Luckily, they had a whole lot of food, so we were able to eat. I was making plans already that what if we couldn't feed the cats, if we couldn't feed the dogs? Do we have to put them down? What are we going to do? We didn't know how long this was going to last. Everyone was locked down. We're doing patrols in the evening. There was militia outside barricading roads and stopping people from coming in. Absolutely mind-blowing. Anyway, you can research, you can figure it out if you're not from South Africa. Just search on YouTube, South African riots 2021 or South African unrest. Those of you who live in South Africa, you know what I went through. If you live in KZN, you'll really know what happened. KZN got hit hard. Gauteng, you guys got it too, but KZN. That being said, here's the part where you guys are going to hate me the most now. When we left, we gave ourselves like an hour. We guesstimated that if these guys were down there and they were heading this way, that it would take them like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but judging by the way they were walking, I mean, they were literally walking with spears, and these looters and angry protesters, they had weapons, which was scary. I mean, I understand, protest, go for it, express your views, do all of that, but then causing destruction and scaring my children, that's a big no from me. Not that you care what I think, but we gave ourselves like an hour to leave, get the dogs, get the cats, get food. We took our deep freeze across to my parents' house because they didn't have enough space in their fridge and freezer to keep my children's food, and we had to freeze a lot of our stuff. And one thing I couldn't take across were cars, which was a massive concern for me because that's my meal ticket at the end of the day. My cars are worth a lot of money now, as you all know. The JDM car prices are through the roof, and I had to leave my cars behind. I managed to take one in a rush because purely it was right here in front and was the easiest to get out, and that was the MR2 SW20. I took the MR2 and I took the Lexus, took it to my parents' house, and that was it. And for about 2 or 3 days, I'm going to say, I don't know how to word this, like I was under the impression that I was going to lose my cars. I came to the realization that my cars would be burnt down and they would be looted, because I was so close to all the shit that was happening. So in my mind, I had already said goodbye to my GTR and my RX-7. Another RX-7. And this hunk of junk. By the time you're watching this video, I would have already started doing an inventory, taking photos, washing the cars, taking videos for each one. I'm putting every single one of my JDM cars up for sale. Not because I need the money, but because I feel that I'm not safe in this country anymore. I have never once not felt safe. Never once wanted to leave. My brother's gone. He left to New Zealand. He's gone and did his own thing. He's in New Zealand. I have never once wanted to leave the country. And that's why I've built so much here, and that's why I have so many assets with regards to cars and everything else, because I love this place. It's beautiful. I have friends here. I have family here. I've got everything I want here. Land is good. Land is semi-cheap. I've got the cars. I've got the support. I've got everything I want. My kids, they go to school. They're happy. They've got friends. We just never wanted to leave. And I'm not saying we're going to leave right now, but we need to be prepared. And having that many cars here, I don't feel safe anymore. And I don't feel safe owning this. And why should I own something? And this is why I'm so upset now. Is why should I own something when I could lose it tomorrow? Because I no longer feel safe in this country anymore. Everything I've built, everything I've worked towards could go like that. And no insurance, nothing will get back something that I built to my standards for myself. The GTR I built the way I wanted it to be built. The way I loved it. It might not be perfect. It's far from perfect. And I'm going to make honest videos because I know like my wiring is up to shit. I've done my own wiring. It might not be as per standard. Those sort of things. But it's my car and I love it. But why should I own it if it could get taken away from me tomorrow? And this shit ain't over yet. It's going to happen again, and it's going to happen worse. And we need to be prepared to get out of here without a lot of baggage. So I don't know where we're going with my YouTube channel right now. So that's the one. I'm still passionate about JDM cars. I'm still going to create content. It's just I'm going to have to make it different. And with COVID around, it's not going to be easy. And you know, I've thought about this and I've slept on this, and I know I'm rambling, and this is probably just a shit video for you guys to especially hear this. But if you really are interested in buying my cars, send me a DM on Instagram. They are market related. The prices are not going to be cheap. So you're looking, R32s sell anywhere between 600k and 700k now if you had to import one from Japan. RX-7 FD3S between 250 to 350, and then special editions much higher. Bear in mind my silver one's a Type RS. MR2 SW20 for a normally aspirated like mine, anywhere between, for a really bust one, for like 100k to about 135. That's where they're at now. And then this car, I don't know, I need to think about this R33 here. But if you guys are really serious, hit me up. I'll make a video soon just addressing the matter, and then each car is going to have a personal walk around showing all the flaws, what still needs to be done and all of that, and then they will be up for sale on Gumtree, OLX and all over the show in the next few days. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for everything and the kindness that you guys have shown. See you all next one. Peace.